Hey folks, here in this series of videos inspired by Brian Fullerton himself is how to operate series, and it's just a basic quick tips and tidbits on how to operate basic operations of basic machines. Excavator, mini X, skid steer. In this case, we're going to talk about our buggy, which we have fully loaded right now. But some of the main things we want to cover in this is, and this is the Toro mud buggy here, which is in the mud now, truly. And we want to talk about a few basic things with it. So these things are incredibly handy for maneuvering all sorts of material all over all sorts of job sites. And we love this thing. It goes out a lot in the spring for mulching. It's a very handy tool. So be it, there's a lot of different manufacturers of this. This is the one we could get a hold of in the year 2020. And it's served us really well so far. We've got other review videos on it, so check that out as far as like reviews on the Toro mud buggy and stuff like that. But in general, a few of these things, they're gonna have about a cubic yard, about 17 cubic foot capacity, give or take, on these smaller ones. On this Toro, we're gonna have our start and our choke. We'll see if we need it. The parking brake is, that thing's finicky, but we've got to have. But with the buggies, you're going to want to run these things at full throttle. That's what they're going to require. They need that to keep those hydro pumps at full capacity for all the demand that's on the thing, especially once it's loaded. These things are heavy once they're loaded. With this being said, this unit here is just like I guess a lot of your Toro mowers. We turn off our e-brake, and these come in like that, and then our swivel is this switch here, which you can then dump and swivel. You can do all sorts of stuff. So one of the things you'll notice when this thing is full, it's when it's loaded like this, it's not tippy, but I mean, it's a full load. It's got full ballast. And so what we want to be always watching for and making sure of is that we're going over terrain that's relatively smooth and we're prepared for it. Because you can, we were to launch over the edge of this driveway here, you seriously could get catapulted, trebucheted right off the end there. I want to show you too, with this, just like any of your standard zero turn controls, this is going to be left forward, right reverse, right forward, right reverse, right? So these need to be both in, and being as like that is one of the detriments of this style. You can't run it one-handed real easy unless you do this. You got big hands like I do. So this thing stays with you so you can dump it and all that stuff as it goes. So again, dump, down, side to side, whatever. But as we're going along, we're going to just drive this like a normal skid steer, or some of the Toros if you're really familiar with it. So I gotta figure out where I'm gonna dump this dirt yet. I think I don't know where I really want to put this. Believe it or not, I've got options but no options at the same time. Yeah, maybe, you know what we'll do? We'll go over there and dump it in like a windrow, and I'll show you that. It's kind of cool. But you can see how this thing would, in this case, you'll see how it could be handy to dump it like behind a retaining wall or something. You need to get that out like a fill a French drain or something, like, oh my gosh, that's the greatest thing. Or to backfill a trench, like when you're buggying from one place to another. Absolutely wonderful. But the return button, that sends you down there. And then you can swivel it home as she goes. So there you go. Great tool. Buggy's super handy. It's one of those things, we don't use this thing a ton, but when we do, it pays for itself. So great combination, this and a mini excavator. Oh man, it's super cool. Now that we also have the ditch witch SK1550, that thing's actually taking the place of this a good bit. So That being said, but it really is a gas-powered wheelbarrow. So if you're doing a lot of mulching or anything like that, this thing is an absolute must. The tracks run over the ground just absolutely great. I mean, look, you can see no more than, and for how wet it is in the spring, not bad. And actually run over the grass, it doesn't even do that bad if you wait for it to dry up a little bit. Does a really good job, so very happy with it. So hope that helped. Let me know what we missed here in the comments or any questions. Thanks folks for joining us on this one. We'll see you.
Okay, so let me guess. You've done your budget for the year, you have your estimates out, your guys are operating efficiently, you have all the new tools, but there's still a number that you're missing. I have good news for you because Element Software just came out with their new job costing feature, which was live in January of this year. And what it will do is it'll give you that missing piece of the puzzle. All the estimates that you've done, your guys will be able to put in their actual numbers as they go on their timesheets. And then at the end of the job, you'll be able to compare the two. So you'll see actual versus estimated. And not only will that let you know if you made any money at the end of the day, but it will allow you to estimate your future jobs even better than you were before. Because, you know, maybe you've always been just a few hours over or a lot of hours under on your retaining wall estimates. This will fix that because you'll be able to see like, oh, for a 40-foot linear wall, I used to think that it would take them 100 hours to do, but it really only takes them 75. So you'll get more work, you'll still be more profitable because you're actually going to know everything. I guess that's the goal at the end of the day. So go check out goelement.com and look at their job costing feature. They have free tools on there. You can make a budget on there for free. You'll really know your numbers. So let's go really, really figure out our numbers.